This cabin has no insulation, half the windows are missing, and it's negative 20 degrees outside. But my New Year's resolution was simple: spend the first 30 days of the year living here, off-grid in the dead of winter. But before I could even freeze... Now, the old-timers used to say, come hell or high water, like it was a figure of speech. Out here, it's more of a scheduling note. So we're going to do this crazy thing one way or another, and I'm bringing a lifeboat. Not because I'm dramatic, but because I've been paying attention. This thing will keep you alive at minus 40, float you through bad ideas, and forgive mistakes you haven't made yet. Faith will get you started, confidence will get you stuck. But a lifeboat, that'll usually get you home. That's not fear, that's experience talking. Now, before we head north, there's one small detail that needs settling. We need a diesel heater in this thing that actually works. Because adventure is one thing, but shivering all night while questioning your life choices is another.
Look at that.
Truth is, I haven't had much luck with diesel heaters. But up here, the diesel heater is the heart of the lifeboat. And if the heart ain't beating, well, you're not going anywhere. So today, we're putting in a new one and hoping this one's got a little more grit than the last. Everything is better in this kit. It's an actual Y pipe, not a T pipe. Like, it's supposed to be a Y pipe. Like, oh my goodness. Everything is better in this kit. It's just way higher quality. Everything. Even the fuel pump. It's like a nickel-plated fuel pump. Look at this. Like, the other ones are all garbage. This one here has got, like, black nickel coating. Wow. All I need is something to keep me warm. Yeah, we'll see. There's no diesel in it, so... Now this trailer, this lifeboat, it's an incredible piece of kit. It'll keep you alive at minus 40 in comfort, like sitting in your bedroom, just with worse decisions. But every lifeboat has a weakness, and this one's weakness is the septic system. It's got a flushable toilet, which sounds fancy until winter shows up in Canada, because any Canadian will tell you in winter you've got exactly 3 options for dumping septic tank. Option 1, drive to Florida. Option 2, a church parking lot, and you don't ask questions. Option 3, a macerating pump straight into the sewage system. We talk about bridge over troubled water like poetry. These are the actual troubled waters they are warning us about. and I'm standing directly over them. I got some plans for warmth. Backup plans, but part of it is this. Just double check to make sure. It's 14.6 volts. Yep, it is. Good. Okay. Lexi! Come here, Lexi. Come here, Lexi. Good girl. You dirty cat. You got dirty. From here on out, it's just the road, the weather, and whatever the land decides to give me. So let's get going. Today's the big day. Alright, this is the hard part. Time to say goodbye to Becca. She's heading one way and I'm heading the other. Every trip starts like this. A wave, a smile you tried to hold on to, and the sound of the engine taking over. Fuel level? Full. Trailer lights working? Yep, they're on. Security of the cabin? Yep, fastened. Back up the road, back into the bush. Okay, let's go then. Oh, I love this track. Let's go.
I think we need to be well prepared. It makes me dependent on you, and that's not a good thing when you are in the wilderness or in the bush. As long as we go there, we get to the land safely and come back safely, we be safe. I like challenge, but as long as our safety be on top priority. The last video I watched, I saw the oceans of the snow. Because I've been there and I know how it looks like, I kind of felt that this year it was even more snow than the previous years when I was there. In some area, the road was super narrow and I felt it's a little bit even dangerous.
Okay, so no gable, no door. What about the windows? Are the windows in? It's going to have to be livable. We're going to have to get some form of heating inside. We got to get this thing done. We can't be pussyfooting around.
Yeah, so it's 4 in the morning. I just got up here. So it's a brutal drive, but it's all right when the weather's not bad. But when you're going through a lot of ice and snow, it kind of sucks. It's negative 20, but it's 25 degrees in here. Anyways, I'm gonna crash out. See if I can get the snowmobile started when the sun comes up. They're not answering my call anymore. My problem is that the snow machine is like locked up. I don't have access to it. Well, we got 60 centimeters of snow on Monday, and she's like, and there's people like, trapped in their houses, like up the northern roads and stuff. So she's like, like it was Monday, right? It's Friday now, right? So this snow has been there since Monday. That's the point. They're working, but why wasn't this one cleared out? I don't know. I was thinking like one thing I could do is go in there with the shovel and start shoveling around the trailer and clearing that spot out and seeing if I can start the machine and whatever, right?
Yeah, well, that's good.
So I just don't know what's going on here, right? Like, this is crazy.
Right. Yeah. Talk to you later.
Yeah, okay. Yep, bye.
Yeah, bye.
This is brutal. Oh, it's not what I expected. And it means it's gonna be hard to get through with the snow machine as well. Like, I gotta go over, and I think it's just gonna be one of those years. I'm sitting here in the car coming to terms with the fact that I'm not getting into the land on schedule. This mission's on pause for a couple days. That's just how the bush treats you. That's part of the off-grid adventure. It takes a while for a city slicker to slow down and match the pace of what's actually going on out here. Talking to the locals, you realize they've been living this for years, locked in their houses for days at a time. Roads open now, but barely. Single lanes, going slow everywhere you look. And eventually, you either fight that or you accept it. Once I slow down and accept what Mother Nature's throwing at me, the frustration fades. The negativity goes with it. That fast-paced, stressful Southern Ontario mindset, it doesn't survive long out here. But I can't. Oh, this one's gone. No. So just stripped out here. Alright, let's get on with it. Better rich than lean. Cover latches froze, shifter froze, steering froze. This whole machine's froze up like a moose tongue on a steel gate.
I think the plastic is loose on the steel, that sucks. The other side is just locked. I didn't push it too hard, I just gently turned it, but it just went whoop, right away, and I thought it was open, but...
Chain case on this machine's a little leaky at the axle seal, so I gotta get this cover off and top it up. Any oil that dripped out last trip, I want it back where it belongs. Give her a little drink here. This oil is moving about as fast as molasses straining through an old brazier.
Yeah, let's go back.
Two days later, the operator's been through and cleared the laneway. My spot was the only one that had been shoveled out proper, snow pushed to the middle. Should have been plain as day. I was trying to get out. Would have taken him about 30 seconds with that big tractor to peel it back and push it to the end with the rest. Instead, he piled it right back where I cleared it and left it there for me. But that's alright. Doesn't bother me none. Out here you learn patience the same way a moose waits out a storm. Good exercise anyway, gets the heart pumping. Now, if the trailer is the lifeboat, then the cabin's the interstellar ship. And I learned something sitting here waiting. If I didn't need the lifeboat, I could just rely on the cabin. The trailer I'd be hauling north wouldn't be this thing at all. It'd be the snow machine on the trailer. Fuel in the tank, freedom in the throttle. Roads plowed? Don't care. Roads not plowed? Also don't care. That's when it finally clicks. My dad's right. I gotta stop pussyfooting around and stop living between plans and finish what I started. This cabin's gotta be livable. Not someday, now. Because once the ship's ready, the mission moves on to the next phase.
I don't know. I had the 503 wide open, just hammering. Like, it's twice as bad as what it was last time. It was so bad. I got into it, I was like, I can't even stop to put the cameras on. Oh, it's really deep. It's so heavy, it's riding the bottom. I was at low gear, The 503 was wide open, my thumb was all the way down, and I was getting maybe like 10 kilometers an hour. I know it's choking out, it can't exhaust. Once it went here, I went in reverse. I couldn't get the engine to go. It was just bogging out. I put it in neutral. It was still bogging out. And it's clearly, there's nowhere for the exhaust to get out, so it was just choking. Oh, there's some still in this time. Quite a lot. So we got a bit of snow. Not a lot, but it's definitely here. So when I made this door, the one thing I screwed up on was I had the bottom of the wall in before I cut the frame out, and I measured it from the bottom nut. I didn't subtract the bit, so I'm gonna have to. Ooh, I almost punched it now.
When Becca and I come up here, we usually pull this door opening and work for a week or two, then hang it back on our way out. That works fine most of the year, but not in winter. That's not an option. You need something there to keep the snow from drifting inside, a door I can unlock, load supplies, close up, and head out without a lot of fuss. So today I'm hanging this door just good enough. It'll open, it'll close, it's all I need right now. I'm not flashing it, not sealing it, not fussing over plumbing perfect. That work comes later when the cabin's tighter and I have some heat to do it right. Flash and tape and sealants are like cold sap on a pine tree. They don't behave till they're warm. For now, this door gets me access, keeps the weather out, and lets me start working. You do what the seasons demand and save the fine work for when the time is right.
This is not the way to hang a door. This is a bush hack for now. Got a long ways to go. Just taping up is just not an option anymore to be able to get in and out. Sun's getting low.
Hey, man.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, how's it going with you?
I got the lot was plowed out this morning. So I got in, I had to, shovel the crust out. The guy left. It's kind of a bit of a juggling act, right? Because I have to drop the lifeboat trailer and then pull the other one out.
They're gonna go into your spot where you shoveled her.
And they can't see, like, the boat is in the same lot. I was talking with the neighbors, and he kind of said, well, like, the snow's probably going to come in when the temperature gets warm again.
When the temperature gets warmer, that's when it snows. That's right.
That's right. Low pressure comes in, and yeah, so I got into the land. It was really, really deep.
Okay, you roared her in, did you?
I roared her in.
I had like, I was in low gear, all the power of the 503, like my thumb was right down. It's like plowing. I got stuck a couple times and I tried to start, I couldn't. So I dug it out where the exhaust was and then it started, it was all right. It wouldn't go. I put it in reverse, it wouldn't go. I put it in forward and I'm like, I packed the snow down and I kind of washed the track. The 503 couldn't turn the track.
Just that much snow.
I don't know. And I got worried because I'm like, well, I don't want to burn out this belt. I packed all the snow around it. I couldn't get going. I couldn't pull the back end sideways. I couldn't move it at all. Like I could not move it. And I was at the cabin, so I was kind of like, you know what? I might just have to stay here overnight. The sun was getting low. I don't know what's going on with that thing. Like last time I was able to pull the back,
Slide it a bit.
slide it sideways or pull the front.
Right. So you can make your angle of your turn
Yeah.
that much better by moving the back end.
But it was a no-go. I couldn't move it at all. It was almost like, is there a bunch of snow up in the tunnel or something? Like a big 2x6. I stuck.
Right. You cantilever. Yep.
Yeah, front bumper, sat on it, hold it, and I could get it to tip.
You're moving.
Yeah, I was moving, but I was moving slow. Too cold for this to really pack. Going down. It's gonna take a little while. I think it's like, it's warmer today, maybe -10. The drill doesn't like being cold. And when it's this cold, you sweep snow up just like dust. Like, it feels like sawdust. It was sitting in a pile over there before I left. There's some little bird over there. I wonder, maybe somebody can tell me who that is, because what's that little guy doing out here tweeting away? It's got to be a rough go in the winter. My gratery. I think I need to get some lumber. I don't want to be dicking around, but I think I have enough to get working on the gable end right now. There was this brace up here in the roof, which I can take down now because it served its purpose. I already cut two 64s. They're right here. 64? 64. Okay, so what can you do? Last time I was out here, I was cutting gable pieces while the batteries were charging. Just a background chore, killing time the honest way. Trouble is, when you leave the bush for a spell, the bush don't keep receipts. So I came back and realized I cut a couple pieces twice. Same board, same angle, same confidence. That's alright though. Around here, that's just charging time carpentry. Good. while. Now, sometimes that's just a sign it was meant to be. I get this header in here, proper size for the window, and didn't have to nick the corners or sweet talk it at all. It just fit perfectly. Truth is, I sat and hummed and hawed over it for a good while. Do I set the window on the sill, or do I just drop it right on the bottom plate of the gable end? In the end, I sat it right on the bottom plate, and wouldn't you know it, everything lined up like it was always supposed to be there. Now, if that looks like a massive gable end window, you're right. It is. It's a nice way to be able to get fresh air inside when it's pouring rain, because that window will very likely never get any rain coming through it while it's open. The idea is that when you're up in the loft, you get a little bit of a view outside. Of course, this catwalk won't be here. You're gonna get a nice view of the clouds or the sky. If you make a roof 45 pitch, it's easier because every cut is 45. One side's 45, the other side's 45. If you do 50, you got to think every cut is this the 40 or is this the 50? Because it's either one or the other. I don't make the mistake that often, but occasionally. And I went with 50 on purpose because it just gives you a little bit more room in the loft, and it's better for snow. Okay, so is it bad in the wintertime? No. Like, I think it's the potential for things to go bad is definitely there, but there's no bugs. There's no like rain that like sticks to you. It's not that bad. Plus, you don't have to keep drinking water. Like, I haven't had any water since I got here. Just thermal management. I take the jacket off, but I don't need to hydrate because I'm not perspirating. So I like to put blocking on every seam of the plywood. Now, I get people in the comments like, oh, I've never seen that. You don't have to do that. And I get other people in the comments who are like, oh, you got to stagger everything. Like, they would say this: you should buy 3 sheets of plywood to do the job of 2 so you can stagger it. Just keep your comments to yourself. You know who you are. See, this is the fine. No. That, you know, they work on the trail, the track, but so the answer is, if you had to walk out of here, it wouldn't be fun. I went way down. You get into a gully or something, it's almost like you can't even get your foot back out because the snowshoe works both ways. Snow's just too soft right now. It's like 1 degree. I can't get the snow machine out there. I'm gonna ruin the trail. Call Roger. Roger said stay off the trail. So I'm just gonna have to wait it out. Snowshoes can't stay on top. Even I can't stay on top. This is how it is out here. It's just unpredictable. Always have a backup plan. That's what I've learned out here, is always have a backup plan. Because you never know. We got the snowmobile, we have a winch in the snowmobile. I carry fire starting stuff in case I get stranded out there. And I'm telling you right now, like the snowshoes aren't gonna get you out. If your snow machine gets stuck, and that Alpine can get stuck easily in soft, mushy conditions, because it is a beast. It's just gonna sink right down into the snow. So you need a backup plan. You need plan B, plan C. It's very important out here because you never know what's gonna go wrong. And you gotta watch the conditions. If you see that the snow is melting down, right now there's 4 feet of snow out here. 3-4 feet of snow in places. And if the machine goes down through the top crust, it's game over. You're not gonna get it up. I can't get it up by myself. I have to winch and pull it and see if I can use the engine to kind of get it back up on top, but it wouldn't be easy. I can't even move it anymore without using a big pry, a big lever. So that's key. You know, watch the conditions, know when it's safe to go out and when it's not. And I just don't feel so safe going out right now. So I'm in the waiting game again. This is how it is out here. It's just unpredictable. But that's something that appeals about it, because you get to enjoy yourself. Take your time. I love this place. It's gonna be cooler in a few days, and then I'm gonna be able to ride in. All the utility stuff to go. This back corner. Eventually there'll be a copper over that. Still there. Okay, so I'll put it right here. Okay. Now, I had this diesel heater meant for the wall tent, and since it was sitting there looking useful, I figured I might as well earn its keep in the cabin. Truth is, the wood stove is still king for a place like this. That's the real heat, always has been. But until that's set up, and just in case things don't go to plan, it's nice to have a backup or two. I'm hoping the diesel heater can at least hold the temperature overnight, keep the edge off while I sleep. And then there's the kerosene heater, which I like, because it throws that honest radiant heat. Out here, you don't bet the night on just one fire. You line up a few and let them take turns. Okay. Now you want like a bit of just a slight downward slope in case condensate forms, which it does. It runs out. Happy with that. Oh, the drain hole is here. It's about to go this way. Because the condensate does, especially like this gets cold, and then when you turn the heater on, water will condense inside. Cabin now. Whoop. Listen. The flashing tape. Now I'm boarding up these windows for the time being. Not because I don't like daylight, but just because we ain't made of money. In the northern woods, you gotta do things in stages. A window's $300 or $400 and they add up quicker than you think. So for now, I'll board them in, keep the weather out, and keep moving forward. And then when we can afford it, we'll put a window in. Heck, maybe every Christmas we'll add another one. New window, little celebration, proof we're still heading in the right direction. I feel like if heat rises. So getting that window in up top is the next key thing. That's on. So when the window leaks, which it will, there's no water comes into here, right? The butyl gets it. The window only goes up to here, so if it lands on here, it runs out. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. 12. There we go. There. Now, I'd hate for you to think that I'm pedantic, but I absolutely am. See, this Tyvek doesn't even reach the top of these window openings. It quits early, like it had somewhere better to be. So before I can do any proper flashing, sealing, or other grown-up construction words, I need to finish the Tyvek on this side of the wall. Another 12 inches is all it takes. Just enough to tuck it up under the eaves and do this the right way. Because here in the bush you can cut corners on a lot of things, but water will remember every single one of them. So I forgot the glue. to put the windows in. The adhesive. Just because I'm trying to keep it warm. It doesn't need to be kept warm, but there. Look at that. Perfect. R10. Just get a magic marker. R10. Okay. So I don't know. I have some ideas. I don't think that diesel heater can keep up and warm this to whatever I want. But I do think it will bring it up a little bit. So the question is, let's say it's negative 10 degrees. How warm do you think I can get it in here? Leave your answer in the comments. Closest one gonna get a prize, and I'm not gonna put it in this video, so it's not like somebody can like skip ahead. I also got Dad's old kerosene heater, and that was a little bit better because it's radiant heat, so I'm gonna job done. So that window I will put in tomorrow. That one I'll put in tomorrow. Now out here, there's all manner of characters drifting through the bush. Trappers, hooligans, wannabes, and then there's what I like to call the chrome sled cavalry. These are the folks with the long track, paddle lug, neon everything machines that go brop, 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 and turn a nice trail into a churned oatmeal. Some of them figure they're backcountry snowmobilers, mostly because they're running on a trail I already broke in. And in doing so, they kindly proceed to ruin it. So I'm putting a chain up, not to be unfriendly, just to keep the trail on our land from getting loved to death. There's plenty of bush out here. This little stretch just happens to be spoken for. So if you're riding on a snowmobile this year and you're flying into a place that says private property, you better go slow because you might hit a chain. It'll be so good when I don't have to start the day by like hauling things in. Because boy, is it ever crappy having to like every day hauling stuff in. Oh, nice. It's a bit of sun just peeking through. Look at how much, it's funny how much snow we got here last night. Now, if you're an old timer, and by that I mean a beard down to the belt, built it with an axe type, you're probably laughing at me now for flashing this window. Because back in the day, they didn't flash windows. They just pointed the house into the wind and hoped for the best. And if you're not an old timer, if you're one of those YouTube certified building code sommeliers, you're probably upset I'm not doing it the way they did a decade ago. Truth is, this method is only marginally better than the old crisscross and the house wrap, but it does make DuPont a lot more money, which is mostly why it exists. And yes, I had the entire gable end wide open and barely any snow made it inside. So is flashing this window overkill? Absolutely. But that's just the way I roll. Now, the heat gun isn't normally part of the butyl tape, but at -10 nothing behaves like it does in the brochure. Warm it up a bit, give it a good smack, and it seals just fine. Cold makes everything stubborn, including materials. Here we go! Done! Happy with that. Cool. Definitely colder outside than it is inside now. It's just the air blowing in. So the Starlink mount is in here somewhere. I think it was right about there, but I'll look at some drone footage. This is kind of what it looks like now with the new window in. And then there's a window up there and the door. Now you can see the door. That's a problem. So that's the next thing really that needs to be done. And then we got the window up there, the original window, the first window, which is awesome. There's snow on the ground. So on the floor, I mean. So today's moving day. I'm gonna zip into the land, grab the sleigh, and then head back out, grab some more stuff here in the vehicle. So gonna be a pretty busy day, but exciting. So I'm heading into the land to drop off this load. I'll grab the sleigh while I'm in there and then turn right back around to load up again. Now this is where my day goes sideways. Watch the bin over my shoulder. I lost a bin on the trail. Now there's no editing trick going on here. You'll notice I take the gas cap off the Alpine to fill it. What you won't see is me putting it back on. Not because I cut it out, just because I didn't do it. And on a sled like the Alpine where the gas cap sits right on the nose, that's the kind of mistake a rider only makes once. I just don't realize it yet. If it looks like panic, that's because it is. The bin that fell off has the action cam in it. That's not equipment, that's days of footage. And suddenly, this just got serious. Come on. Now I'm going to need you to pay close attention here, because if you watch carefully you'll see two very important splashes of fuel come flying out of the gas tank. The first one says, "Huh, that's odd." The second one hits me in the face half a second after I close the visor, which is the only smart decision I made that day. If you look close, you can actually see my entire jacket get absolutely soaked. And it was the overwhelming full sensory experience of raw two-stroke fuel, smell, taste, regret, that finally alerted me to the developing situation. Sometimes the bush whispers, sometimes it just dumps gasoline directly into your soul.
The old sun glow. Yes. It really gives off that radiant heat. Like, it's just good to have a backup option. I'm glad that this thing's working.
Now, if you missed how we got here in the first place, the Alpine build explains all that, and that video's right here. If you want to see how this whole thing actually plays out, stick around. The next chapter is 30 days in January, living out here in the cabin, finding out what works and what doesn't. That's where the real adventure unfolds, and I'll see you there.